Hey guys, so we're about to start buffing this finish out on this guitar I've been building on that buffer right there. And for any of you that haven't watched the other videos, just to catch you up, so I sanded the body when I was done building, sanded the body down with 220, got all the imperfections out and everything, tool marks and all that kind of stuff. I then did 2 rounds of Simtex sealer, of course sanding in between each round until I got out, till I basically leveled and filled all the grain, which in this mahogany and zebra wood there was a lot of filling to do. So I got all that done. Then I did 3 different tint bases or tint colors. I did a yellow, lemon yellow, golden brown, and dark walnut. Of course, I mixed those in a clear base. Sprayed those on there to get the coloring I wanted to do. And then I started my 3 rounds of clear urethane on top. Each round of urethane I did about 2.5 coats, okay? Let it dry in between, level sanded it each time, got out the imperfections and orange peel, and shot it a second and third time. And I just finished the 3rd coat a couple days ago, or the 3rd round a couple days ago. I think altogether it's probably got 8 or 9, between 7 and 9 coats of clear on that. And I do that so when I'm buffing and sanding, I'm not burning through the finish and getting down into the tint, which would ruin all that work. So at any rate, so after the 3rd round of clear, I've now sanded the whole thing with 800 grit. I use this Super Aslix, which is a really great sandpaper. It's a dry sanding system. And I use a combination of, let me see here. I've got this little foam pad I use. I've got, hang on one second. I use this sanding sponge that goes with that, that paper. And I also use a little rubber eraser. So those are the 3 tools I basically use in sanding. But anyway, so I sand out all the imperfections. I look at it in the light. I make sure there's absolutely no little shiny spots anywhere, which means that's a little divot in the finish. And you got to get rid of that because that's going to stick around after you're done buffing. And then I'm going to start buffing. And as you can see, I've already started on the back. I was just basically warming up and seeing if I had it sanded nicely, and I think I do. So anyway, so we're going to get over here and start buffing. But I just kind of wanted to show you what I've got here. So I've got, I'm going to use 3 different wheels. This is my coarse one down here, which I'm not going to use since I sanded that with 800. I believe I can get it out with my medium, fine. And then I have an ultra fine wheel over there, which I'm going to get out too. And the products I use is this Menzerna, I guess it's a paste, what do they call it? Well, it's a finishing compound, and it's in kind of a clay sort of a base. Anyway, so that's GW16. I use that. That's what I really call my medium. I'm not using the coarse. And I do this Menzerna. This is it's the tan color. It says a very fine high gloss finish. I'm going to use that on this wheel, which is a flannel wheel. And then the 3rd one I'm going to use is this Glanz Max 15, which is an ultra high gloss finish on the guitar. And I'm going to use that with this buffing wheel right here. So anyway, I'm going to get set up over here and get going. Okay, so I got my buffing wheel going. I always use this little buff rake just to loosen up the buff. And then I put a little of my finish on. This is the GW16 from Menzerna. And I just start buffing away. So this video was sped up a bit, but you know, I'm trying to have even pressure, not too much pressure, not too little pressure. Too little pressure and you're not getting out the scratches from the sanding or the scratches from the previous coarseness of buffing compound. And so you got to have heavy enough to get that out, but too heavy, too much pressure, and that'll cause that wheel to heat up and cut through the finish. You have to watch very carefully around the edges. One, it could catch the guitar and snatch it out of your hands, but it'll catch those edges, and for whatever reason, finish comes out a little bit thinner on the edges, and it can cut through that much quicker too. So I'm very careful. I go around all the contours, and you have to angle the guitar to get it in against the contours right. I'm always have two hands on it, and I'm careful not to like catch a horn or whatever up under that buffer wheel, because that buffer wheel is spinning downward. So it's something too you've got to watch around, like the pickup holes and everything. You got to get right to them, but if that buffing wheel is like pulling against the hole, if I'm saying that right, if it's pulling against the hole, it could actually cut off the finish off of that too. So I basically work my way around the holes and things to where I'm going like parallel with the edge of the hole and not like cutting into it and pulling into it. And every few minutes I pull it up and I look at it in the light to see my progress. You can see some areas are duller than others. That's the previous scratches. You're trying to get those out. So that's what you're looking for. All right, now I'm going to move on to the next level, which is this very fine high gloss Menzerna paste wax or paste compound. And this is on that flannel wheel, which is much softer than the other one. But don't let it fool you. You can burn them with these too. This joker throws off some dust too. That's a homemade buffer I made. I kind of copied one that Highline Guitars showed on their channel, and he actually sells plans for it. I did this before he had the plans available, but I think for a few bucks you can buy a set of plans and build one. But I think I've got a 3rd horsepower motor on that, and the wheels are spinning. I believe it's 900 RPM, and it feels about right to me. Anyway. So yeah, that's a flannel wheel on that one, which is very soft, but I'll tell you what, you will definitely, you push too hard and it'll cut through that finish. That's another reason why I put so many coats of clear on it, to protect that, because each one of these compounds, it's a grit, it's like sandpaper, and you're taking off some of the finish each time you go through it. And each level brings it shinier. Okay. Because I have never figured out how to get down in these horn areas with that buffing wheel without messing something up. I mean, it gets real close to that big nut is spinning right there, and I'm always afraid it's going to grab it and snatch it away. So since I've never really been able to get down in there really good with my buffer, this is how I do these horn areas. And I work my way up the grits just like when I'm doing it on the buffing wheel. So this is a little foam polishing pad or whatever. I get it from StewMac, and then I use the StewMac color tone polishing compounds too. So anyway, that's how I take care of that. Just put a little bit on there. Rub it in. And go to town. Incidentally, I have a different one of these for every grit I use. So this is the one I use for fine. Yeah, I keep a different buffing pad like that for every grit. I have 3 different ones and a couple different sizes of each one, but I never cross over grits, because that grit can get embedded in that foam wheel. And you don't want to try to, buff out fine scratches with the medium coarse stuff. So, and incidentally, I wet that foam pad a little bit too, and it seems to make it glide a little bit better. Okay, so I've done the medium and the fine with those 2 buffing wheels. Now I put my Domot cotton buffing wheel on there, and I've got the ultra fine on it, and I'm about to hit it all with that now too. You can see that new buffing wheel that I think it's either dormant cotton or Domat cotton, but it's a little bit larger. It's a 16-inch wheel, and I like it. It's just, I feel like I'm at a safer distance from the spinning steel stuff that's there. The other wheels I have are 12-inch, and if I had to do it again, next time I buy them, I'll probably buy larger ones. Just more comfortable. If you notice, I got that door open too, and I'm on this ultra fine grit. I carry it out in the sunlight, and I look at it in the sunlight because it could look great inside the shop. You bring it outside and you'll see little dull areas and fine scratches you wouldn't otherwise see. So I always try to do this on a bright sunny day. Okay, so the last step in this process of buffing out the guitar is I put on some of this Jescar's scratch and swirl remover. I just use a clean cloth I got. Put a little bit on there if I can. Probably put way too much on. I basically rub it out. Gets off all the compound left. Not that there was too much, I wiped it all off before, but this is just the last little step. That Jescar's, that brand, that's actually a website you can go to. I've bought some buffing and polishing tools and supplies from them. It seems like a good website. They have that, and they carry fret wire too. What a combination! But that's what they carry. You know, something I realized too when I did this, I don't have any footage in here of me buffing the neck, but it's basically exactly the same process as I'm doing here. So I just, for whatever reason, omitted that. So here's the finished thing. I think I found a couple little dull spots after I'd finished this, and I hit them over the next couple days. But that's basically it. Came out, I'm very, very pleased. Like I said, there was a couple spots that I hit afterwards, you know. You can see it there a little bit in the picture. And I just hit it again on that Domot cotton buffing wheel, and it came right out. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you folks that stick around to the very end to see the whole thing. I really do. And, you know, and I get a lot of nice comments from folks who've been watching this, and I really appreciate that. It makes me feel good that somebody out there seems to be getting something from this. And anyway, I just want to say thank you very much to the viewers. I enjoyed doing this. I love building guitars, and I love being here in my shop and everything. And it just and I kind of enjoy actually showing other people, because this is how I learned too. I learned from folks on YouTube doing exactly what I'm doing now. So I'm doing my best to get all the information in there to try to show you all the steps. Buffing is it looks easy, but it takes a special touch. It takes some practice to get good at it. I wouldn't call myself good at it, but I've gotten better, and I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress for sure. But anyway, if y'all ever thought about building a guitar, give it a shot, because if I can do it, y'all can do it too. I've got another series I've started. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but it's called the E-Wars Great Guitar Giveaway 2021, where I'm building a new guitar on a series, and at the end of the series, I'm going to be giving it away. So you'll have to check that out. I'll look and try to put a link in here somewhere for that. But anyway, thanks for watching. And keep an eye out for my next video coming out next Thursday. I think I've probably got one more in this series building this guitar. The guitar's been finished, but I got enough footage, I think, for showing me I built the pickups for it and assembled the guitar and all that kind of stuff. So, and then after that, I'm going to have somebody good to play it for you and show you what it all sounds like too. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and see you on the next one.